Hello and welcome to Truro Public Library's May Craft Along video, where this month we'll be making a macrame keychain. And to do this, you will need the following bits of material. We'll have a pair of scissors, a key ring or something similar to hold your piece, and 3 pieces of cord. For this, I've been using a cotton cord, which is usually what they recommend when you're doing macrame, but you can use what you have around your house as well. So we have 2 30-inch pieces and a 15-inch piece of cord. The first thing we need to do is attach our cord to our ring. So I'll get this stuff out of the way here. So I'm going to start with our ring, and we're going to take one of our 30-inch pieces of cord. And what we're going to do is we're going to place this into our ring here to begin our keychain. So we're going to go under and through. You can see how that looks there. And we want to make sure that the cord is equal on both sides. So you can gather both ends, get it so it's in the middle, and then we're just going to lay this flat again. So you can see here on one side of the ring where it's going under, and on another it's coming over the top. Once we have that done, we're then going to add our second piece of 30-inch cord here. And to do that, we're going to be placing it this way. So we're going to come again from underneath. And before I go any further, I'm going to also make sure that this is even. So stretch that tight. And then we're going to take this top piece and lay it over our first bit of cord. So now you can see we have our under piece and our over piece. So there we go. That's the start of our cord. And the specific knot that we're making right now is known as a Chinese crown knot. This is a really handy one to learn, as it's used a lot when you're making macrame plant hangings. Now that we have our base done, the next thing we're going to do is start the actual knotting process. And if it helps to think of these as numbered, it can kind of get confusing at first. Once you get the pattern, it picks up pretty quick, but we can think of this as cord 1, cord 2, cord 3, and cord 4. So we're going to take cord 1 and we're going to put it over cord 2, kind of making this petal shape here. We're then going to take cord 2 and put that over cord 3, just like that. We're going to take cord 3 and put that over cord 4. You can see I'm also going over our previous cords here as well. And then for our last one, we're taking this and we're coming over. And the final step, you can see we're going over this cord 4 down here. Instead of leaving this over top, we're going to tuck this underneath. And I'm going to do this a few times, so don't panic if you didn't pick up on it right away. So this kind of looks like a hot mess, but what we're actually going to do is start tightening and pulling these cords. And it helps if you kind of grab both of these. You can start tugging. As you get close, you might have to clear up some space. And just tightening here. And once you have that tightened, you have this neat looking little knot right here. Just make sure that's nice and tight. There you go. And once we have that done, we're just going to repeat the exact same thing we did. So to help keep it straight, it helps to organize your cords in this kind of T position here, cross position. So what we're going to do again is we're going to take the first cord and put it over the second cord. So again, we're creating that loop here. Then we're going to take our second and put it over the first and the third. And then we're going to take our third We're putting it over the second and fourth. And finally, we're taking our fourth and putting it over the third and the first. And we're tucking it into this first loop we made. And then it's just a matter of tightening. I'm just pulling on this gently. As you get closer, you might have to expand to pull them, but you're looking for that same 4 knot. And you have to pull each individually. That works too. There you go. We can see we have the start of our keychain happening here. We have that nice little 4-sided shape. So I will do that one more time just so you guys can see it, and then we'll keep on going. So got our first, and you'll notice as you go, it's going to start, these will get shorter. So where we're starting off quite large, you might have to start making them a bit shorter, but we're going to go over here and start making our petals. We're going to go across these two. And we're going to take this guy and go across these two. And you can see when I tightened my knot up here, I think I might have made them a little uneven. So that could happen too in your first time. That's no problem. And we're going to go across these two and tuck underneath this last one. So across those two and then underneath. And now I'm going to start tightening again. And you might not pick up on this right away, which is perfectly fine and normal, especially if you're starting something new or you've never tried knotting. It can seem really intimidating at first. One of the good things about macrame is it is just straight up repetition. So by the end of this, you should feel pretty comfortable doing your Chinese crown knot. You can see we can start to get a little bit of our pattern there. So you're just going to keep doing this until you find that it's really hard to keep making the knots, or you run out of space, or it's to whatever length you would like. All right, I have my keychain to the length I would like to have it. You can see I left these pretty short. So something else to consider when you're getting near the end is how long you would like your actual tail to be. I'm just going to try this a little shorter to see how that looks. So if not, I just would have done one less knot. That's going to change your end here. So you have a few different ways to end this. We're going to be using our 15-inch piece here of cord. And essentially what we're going to be doing is finishing it off by tying a knot here. So you can just simply wrap this around a few times and then tie a knot. Or we can try the fancy, what they call a wrap knot. So what we do here, I have my piece here, and I'm going to take the end of one of the cord, the 15-inch cord, sorry, and I'm going to make a little loop, just like that there. I'm going to hold that on the side so that the tail ends are facing the same way as my tail on my keychain here. So you can see I have my loop, and then I'm going to take the long end of my 15-inch cord, and I'm going to do as the knot suggests, and I'm going to start wrapping. I'm just going to wrap this around a few times. And then what I'm going to actually do is take this piece that I was using to wrap and stick it through my loop here. See, I have that stuck through the loop. And now I'm going to find the end of this loop I created, which is this guy here. And when I pull on this, you can see it starts tightening the loop up top. So by doing that, I'm securing my knot. And now I'm just going to go through here and tug on all these pieces and make sure it's nice and tight. Pull on this. You don't want any of this going anywhere, so we're just going to give everything a really good pull. Okay. So get a little bit of a bulge there, but not too bad. So now that we have this here, we don't need this tail, so I'm going to take my scissors and give that a trim. I'm just going to pull on that one more time and just kind of tuck that in. And I've left this short because I am curious to see how that will look short. So from here, you have a few options with your tail. If you left yours longer, you could take the ends and knot them. That might give you a different look. What I'm going to do is trim these. So I'm going to use these shorter ones here as a guide. I'm going to trim all my pieces. And it could be hard to get through. You're cutting through quite a bit of cord here. Okay, and my last one. There's some excess. Now what I like to do is kind of unravel. The cord I have here you can unravel. And it gives you kind of more of a tassel look. So I'm going to keep unwinding those. You can see with this one I kind of left them still a little corded, but if you keep unwinding all these, you get a great little tassel look. And even if you have a little comb at home and you wet it and you brush it through this, you'll get even more of a tassel look. I'm just using my fingers here right now. So you can see you got a nice little tassel end there. And if I want to, trim this up a little more, or you can leave it rough, it's totally up to you. I kind of like this little tassel. And with that, give another little tug. You've completed your macrame keychain. You can see the little buddy there, just to give you an idea of some of the different looks. And something that's really neat that you might want to try with this is just cotton cord. So if you were to make a dye, even a diluted dye, say using food coloring or anything like that, you could probably dip dye this as well and maybe get a neat gradient effect. I'd love to see it if one of you guys try doing that. So yeah, this is our macrame cord. So I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out past videos and posts on the library's blog, libraryathome.org, and I hope to see you all in the next video.